I'm about to show you some of the longest served prison sentences in the United States. Meet Warren Nutter. My man spent 65 years, 10 months, and 6 days in prison. At 18, he became the youngest man sentenced to death in the state of Iowa for killing a patrolman during a gas station robbery. In 1957, they commuted his sentence to life sentence, and he died in the Iowa State Prison in 2021. Meet Kenneth Nicely. He spent 65 years, 362 days in prison. Not only is he still incarcerated, he is serving the longest sentence in Arkansas. He also unalived a police officer. Y'all, this is Sammy Robinson. Sammy Robinson spent 66 years and 85 days in prison. He was incarcerated all the way from 17 all the way to 83 at his death. Meet Johnson Van Dyke Grigsby. He spent 66 years and 123 days in prison. After unaliving a man in a fight, he was sentenced to life for murder. My man was denied parole 69 times. They finally gave him parole at 89 years old, and he made it out in the world and couldn't get a job, so he voluntarily turned himself back in. This is Joseph Ligon. He spent 67 years and 54 days in prison. He was sentenced to life without parole at the age of 15. And my man, he denied any resentencing, any parole, did his whole entire time. February 11th, 2021, he was released from prison after serving his whole entire sentence. And this POS right here, his name's John Phillips. He spent 68 years, 236 days in prison for essaying a 5-year-old child. He was also released March 2021, and his parole is set to end March 2026. This is Paul GGLE Jr. He spent 68 years, 245 days in prison. He was given 20 years to life, but they ended up finding him mentally insane and put him in an institution where he died at 73. So he spent his whole life in a mental institution. Mr. Walter H Burke Jr. spent 69 years and 8 days in prison. I know this isn't a picture of him, but that's the cell he spent it in. That cell is where he is still serving his sentence of 99 years and 6 months for unaliving a child with an axe. This is Francis Clifford Smith. He spent 70 years and 31 days in prison. He was sentenced to be for unaliving a guard at a yacht club. It was during a robbery, by the way. But just 2 hours before his execution, his sentence was commuted over to life. 2 hours before, saved by the bell. This is Charles Facad. He spent 70 years and 303 days in prison. Ooh. He spent most of his sentence and life in a mental institution for unaliving a really old man for his boots. That's the top 10 longest served sentences in the United States. I hope y'all enjoyed it.